Hey dudes, it's Marty from Needlebutt Farms, and today I have been a bad beekeeper. So I saw some stuff going on a few days ago. I went, this will sort itself out. It rained for 2 days, so I didn't come out here. Basically what has happened, just to summarize before I deal with it, I'm pretty sure these guys were robbed, so they're dead. I'm pretty sure these guys killed these guys, which is really annoying, but it is what it is. I'll explain a little bit more about that later. And then this right here, if it's what I think it is, also my fault. I just kind of neglected these guys for too long after I saw the robbing. Didn't put 2 and 2 together that if your bees are taking everything out of this beehive is full. So I haven't messed with that yet. I'm pretty sure they're building comb outside of the beehive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open these guys up. I'm gonna put in my queen excluder and a honey super. I'm gonna do the same down there with my other beehive. I'm probably gonna have to clean up the inside of this beehive. Hopefully no pests or anything have gotten in there. But knowing my luck, they're probably all over the place. But we'll see. And then these guys, I'm not going to split them again, even though that split was pretty early this year. I'm just gonna try and get them in full production of honey. But because this is so full, they might be prepping to split and swarm anyways. So maybe we'll get another shot at bringing Beyonce back. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is something I should have dealt with a few days ago, but I knew it was about to rain and I didn't look at the forecast, so I was like, oh, I'll fix it tomorrow. And then 2 more tomorrows came by, and with my work or my school schedule and stuff like that, I just didn't get a lot of time to mess with it. So this is me being a bad beekeeper. These bees are doing exactly what they're supposed to. It was me that was the bad guy. So we're gonna puff this, see if there's even anything in it. I'm pretty sure there isn't. We'll see. I don't hear anything, and I see some ants on the front. Oh, there are. Ooh, this is a pleasant surprise. Okay, they left. They made it. All right, so it's not a full disaster. Now what we're dealing with is we're going to see if the queens lived in these guys. They're bringing in honey. Just from the top looking down, I'm not seeing any brood, but that's okay. We're still about a week early for that. Let's just see what we see. Yeah, I see a lot of teeth mark on this comb, so it did get robbed a little bit, but maybe they fought them off. Because there are still drones and normal bee activity in here, so we'll just have to look and see what happens. Ooh, that is propolis stuff. All right, so I've got cap brood. There are some larvae on there. Don't see any queen cells or emergency cell. Oh, yeah, I do. No eggs. This queen cell is open, so hopefully we did get a queen out of here. There are a few drones in here, so that's good. I don't see any new brood. I just see some kind of deformed bad brood. Sorry, ladies. Oh, I hate. Let me just put this back in here. Yeah, these bees are not following the template again. but they've had a rough couple days, so I'm probably not going to mess up this beehive until they get to full numbers. And then I'll just have a rough day out here because it'll be hot weather, be out here in the morning. These bees will be real upset with me, but it is what it is. I see 2 frames stuck together, and that I am going to have to, I'm probably going to have to rip that apart, which is a bummer. Oh, it's just the top. We're good, we're good. Crisis averted again. Okay, Marty's a bad beekeeper, but not the worst beekeeper, and that's okay. We've got a lot of new wax being pulled out. I'm not seeing any indications for a new queen. I'm gonna give these guys another week, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna have to combine this hive and this hive, because I don't think there's enough strength in here unless that queen did indeed get born and bred. I don't think these guys have enough numbers to make it, so I'm probably going to combine them with that hive. But we'll see. We'll give it another week, see what happens. I'm just going to close this up. From me looking down, these 2 aren't drawn out. This one is barely drawn out. This one is drawn out. And this one is drawn out and has honey in it, but no brood. And then I looked at the ones that I needed to look at. So we're going to just close it up. It's nice that there's bees in there. It makes me feel a lot less bad because I was kind of being a neglectful beekeeper, and these guys can't live without me. So that's bad on my part. Ooh, but they are doing, this is a good sign. So they're doing a lot of defensive posturing. So they're doing what they're supposed to, like they might actually have a queen in here. So I'm just gonna get them off the edge so I don't smush a lot of them. Gonna close this bed. I was gonna call it bad boy, but we'll call it a bad girl today. I need to learn some Beyonce songs so I can start making some Beyonce references. All I know is she's the queen bee, that's all I know. So, where is my lid? Here's my lid. Yeah, we're actually on the schedule for checking these guys out when we were supposed to, but I just saw some activity I should have messed with the other day. So, if this is comb, which I'm not sure if it is, or just kind of weird bee behavior. Again, Marty's not a bad beekeeper. I don't know what they're doing here. Having a party. I'm gonna just let it happen. They might be killing something. I don't know what they're killing. If they would let me see it, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to see. If they let me see what they're looking at, I'll kill it for them. So I'm pretty sure y'all can see from there, this is packed with bees. So 2 reasons this would happen. 1, they don't have enough room. 2, they have been exposed to pesticides. That's not what happened. This is just what you'll see if that did happen. And most of them would die up there. Yeah, this is just slam full of bees. Love that. Love to see it. So this is unusual to have this many bees, because it's like they came back after I did that split last week. But I sat out here for a long time after I filmed that video to make sure that did not happen. So it's like they just mass produce some bees, which is like, maybe I missed the queen. So I'm gonna look at a couple of these. As long as we have brood, which I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 things of brood. So that's great. I'm gonna check them anyways, just to check for swarm cells, because that's what you got to do. If this is one of my new beekeepers I'm talking to, you still got to check them. Even if you see the stuff you want to see, especially during this time of year, you got to check for these swarm cells. I did. My first year was actually my best year of beekeeping. I got 1 beehive. I split it with swarm cells. It split successfully. And then we had an unusually warm, yeah, look at all that activity. That's a lot of activity. We had an unusually warm winter and fall. So they were just bringing in tons of honey. So I got about 100 and something pounds of honey, ended the season with, I think, 3 beehives, and I started with a nuke. So there is a chance for everyone to have a lucky summer like that, you know? Man, there's a lot going on there. Okay. Don't see any, I see a couple that might be brand new. It's kind of sporadic. So what I'm gonna look for is I'm gonna try and find a good frame just slam full of brood. And if I see that, I will know that I have a new queen, or the old queen didn't leave, but I'm pretty sure she was gone last time I checked. And this is a healthy hive. It's kind of hard to smoke them like this because it's like they don't have anywhere to go. These are slammed full of bees. This one for sure probably has some swarm cells on it. If I was a betting man, which I am not, luckily, this is the one I would bet had the swarm cells on it, which is pretty typical. It's kind of in the middle. Looking at the top, there's a lot of burr comb on it. Regardless of what I see today, these guys are getting a honey super at least. Yeah, there we go. Well, no, I think that's a drone cell. That's a tricky one. Get off of there. Oh. That is a weird one. Let me see if I see any other possible swarm cells in here. So what I see, I'll actually bring this one over to you because it's kind of a tricky one. For a second, I thought it was a queen cell, but it was just it's a drone cell right here. Hopefully y'all can see that. So they started off making a queen cell, but the way it's attached back there makes it look like a drone cell because there's a bunch of drone cells here too. This is pretty well covered in brood. I'm gonna check again just on the off chance that does happen to be a swarm cell. I'm gonna check one more in here. So another reason the activity is so high is it's actually the afternoon. So I've been doing a bunch of fitness programs, so I've actually been gone all day at the gym, trying to lose weight and get in better shape and trying to run a whole bunch and pretend like I'm some superstar, but I am not. All right, so these are swarm cells, but there are no eggs in them. But the reason that they're making these swarm cells is they're like, hey bro, the hive is way too full right now, so we need to start prepping to evacuate, which I get that. So what I'm gonna do for them today, I'm gonna check another one. I know I keep saying I'm not gonna check anymore, but I'm gonna just keep checking because I'm really anticipating some swarm cells, and I'm surprised I haven't seen any. Look out, ladies, look out. Also, if I smash enough of these girls, they're gonna start getting real upset with me, but I have to do this. Okay, here we go. So this one is mostly brood on this side. That's good. That's what I wanted to see. Good handful of brood on this side. And no swarm cells on this one. My veil is really close. It's like touching my nose. I don't like that because it means these little bee stingers could get out here if they wanted to. And there's just enough bees in here. I'm probably hurting their feelings. Sorry, ladies. I'm gonna take one more. There is brood in here, which is good. That means if there's not an actual queen, there's at least an emergency queen, because I'm still pretty convinced that that queen was gone last week. So, and there were 2 swarm cells left in here last week, or I think 3 that I left in here last week so they could keep the hive going. She may have hatched. This one's kind of heavy. It's probably mostly honey. The one thing I don't want to do is have a queenless hive, because like this right here, this is not good. That this is just slam full of honey. And there's so many of these things without brood in them. Because that could really kill their numbers. So I'm gonna put a super on here. I'm gonna have to do a half inspection on these bad boys, or bad girls, I guess, in a few days. I'm gonna check it again, see if they can kind of architect their way out of this. So what this is a queen excluder, so it's just big enough where the normal bees can get through, but the queen can't. So that means everything above this, the bees will fill with honey, and everything under this is fair game for the queen. So we did see a couple brood. I didn't see any eggs, which I don't like, but I'm gonna give them another week before I panic. So see what happens here. So give them a little puffage. Oh yeah, today's the day I'm gonna hear that sound I hate. So we're gonna have to crunch some bees. No. Sorry, ladies. Ugh. Hate to hear it. All right. That. Oh, it's all defensive posturing. None of it is stinging. All right, but they are getting a little testy with me. I think I smushed. Oh my gosh, these bees are everywhere. I think I smushed a couple up too many when I was pulling some of the frames out. So just watch me making a bunch of rookie mistakes out here. Rookie mistake number 1, trying to do this at sunset. You can hear the frogs coming out, dumping bees all over the place, smushing bees all over the place. Come here, ladies. So the reason I'm picking these up is these might be nursery bees, or nurse bees, which means they haven't figured out how to fly yet, so their wings haven't developed. But I see a lot of defensive posturing here, which is good. Hopefully hopefully I haven't ruined 2 of my hives right at the beginning of this year. Let's see what they were doing down here. You'll never know. That was weird. Oh, sorry ladies, I hate that sound. There's a real gap there though, and I don't like that. Alright, well, this was a rough day for me beekeeping, but that's okay. It's okay, we all have bad days. I have bad days, the bees have bad days. Yeah, for all you new guys, don't get discouraged. Even sometimes us that have been doing it for a while, we're still kind of like, what's going on right now? And this is, the last couple weeks has been one of those for me. The climate has just been real weird. I didn't know how to deal with it. The bees don't know how to deal with it. It's been a rough time. So this one should be a normal inspection though. What I'm expecting to see from these guys, they should be full up and ready for this honey super, which is what I was going to do to them originally. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, full. Which is good, because they still had one frame left that they needed to fill out last time I was in here. Now is when I should be expecting to do some of my first real beekeeping inspections of the season, but it was just really warm in January this year. Oh, love that, out of smoke. Alright, so I see some drone cells, good. I still haven't messed with this last frame. Maybe it smells funny to them or something. I don't know why they're not messing with it. Especially because I can see they've got this other stuff pretty well full. Oh, that's empty. Okay. I have a bee on my thumb, really intentional about trying to sting me real good right now. So I think that's still a bee from that hive. Because I kind of messed up their whole week. Getting in there, smashed some bees, messed up their house. But hopefully they'll appreciate the extra floor I gave them in there. Alright. Boop, boop, boop. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. So those are drone cells. A lot of drone cells, which is good. That's something we expect to see about this time of year. What I have here, I have one swarm cell. I don't see anything in it, but the drones mean that these guys are prepping to swarm eventually. So just a cycle of life in the life of bees. Those guys are just weeks ahead. So it'd be like that, you know. pretty solid with grooves, so they do have probably a queen. This one's kind of sporadic, but I'll allow it. If it wasn't so late in the day, I would take my time and find this queen, because last time I kind of neglected it because I had to move fast. And this time the sun's going down. It'll be down in like 20 minutes, so I don't really have a ton of time. But I do see what I wanted to see, which is a lot of bee activity. They filled up a lot of these frames. Also, the reason they're being testy, don't do what I just did, which is just drop that frame back in there. Because when these guys feel vibrations like that, they really don't like it. Alright. Another frame and a half brood. Another frame and a half brood. This queen's got an interesting... Oh no, this thing is slammed full of bees. Hell yeah. I mean, heck yeah, I'll censor it. Yeah, love that. That means this queen is rocking. Heck yeah, okay. So that's what I wanted to see. I don't really need to check anymore. I am going to check these other two just to see if there are swarm cells yet, which I haven't seen. But the fact that this one is full of brood, this one is full of brood, this one has a lot of drones on it, it means they're probably prepping. Will be, if not today, they'll do it next time. Scared myself there. I had a piece of grass go up my pant leg. I'm gonna back up. Hate that feeling. The grass was still in there. Whew. Alright, I'm gonna check one more of these for swarm cells. Yeah, the bee stings don't hurt that bad, and it feels like they don't hurt that bad after winter anyways. It's like at the peak of summer is when they really hurt. I don't know if it's because it's just I'm hot and miserable out here. These guys got their venom pumping. I don't know. Yeah, I see one swarm cell, no egg in it. But I still don't like getting stung. I don't really need any nature's Botox, you know. So this is a defensive posture. This is stage 3. Defensive posturing. Stage 4 is when they start stinging my gloves. So I'm about to close these girls up because I don't want them to just start dying for no reason. No need to be martyrs today. Alright. Yep. Gonna close it up. Can't tell if I got sweat running up my pant leg, you know. Hate that feeling. I think it's all in my mind. Oh shit. Shoot. I need to put a honey super. Since they still had one frame left, and they... Now I'm gonna put that super on here. Even with the sweat going up my pants legs. didn't really mentally prep to do this beekeeping today either. I'd taken my wife out for a date night, saw that weird activity over there, and went, all right, well, I guess I'm doing some beekeeping. But it'd be like that. Hey, all right, well, my dog's gonna get stung. All right, put that down. Yeah, I don't like the dog being out here because sometimes these bees, when they get testy, they'll just go for anything moving out here. And more than once, it has been that dog, not me. So we're good. Everything is good. These guys got their super. Sorry, that was kind of a hectic inspection. So to summarize everything that happened, because it kind of got weird, this is Susan B. RBG, Susan B. Anthony, soon to be Beyonce. So my last inspection, it was still mid-May or mid-March, kind of early for a swarm, but it's okay. So what happened, I saw some weird activity in Susan B. Anthony. Susan B. Anthony had a lot of activity outside of the hive. It was a day that was like 50 degrees, which is unusual. So they can do cleansing flights, they can leave, but they leave and come right back. So that was unusual to see so much activity. And it was also unusual to see it in the morning and after, like, it was just weird. So I came out here, looked like there may have been a swarm and I missed it. So swarms are normally way more distinct than what I saw in that hive. So I was like, well, maybe it wasn't a swarm, maybe it was just some unusual or like some warming up activity, something like that. I did my inspection, never found the queen, found like 12 or 13 queen cells, kind of a bummer. And if they're capped, chances are you missed the swarm. I was hoping maybe because of the weather they hadn't swarmed yet, but I never found the queen. So I went ahead and did a split real quick. The problem for me is I'm not super rich, so I can't move my bees that far apart. Normally if you did a split, you would move it a little further away. I only was able to move it like 15 feet, but it was fine. And then waited a couple days, came out here, I was messing with the yard or something. I saw a lot of activity and I was like, oh good, both the beehives are doing well. Well, what I saw was this beehive, Susan B. Anthony, the bees were flying into and out of Beyonce, which is a sign of raiding, and it happens. But once you see raiding activity, there's not really anything you can do, it's already done. You normally can try and minimize your entrance, which I guess I could have put an entrance reducer on it, but I didn't think about it. I just went, well, that's a bummer. Hopefully they fight it off. I came out here kind of expecting them to not have fought it off, but they did. So Beyonce is doing okay. Their numbers are actually pretty high. I didn't see any new queen activity though. So that could mean that the queen cells that I saw in there didn't make it. So I'll come out here in probably 5 days, which is pretty quick, to do another inspection, just to check again, but I don't want all those bees to die. It's a waste of bees. So if I don't see any new brood or any signs that things have improved, I will combine those number of bees probably with these bees, just because that Susan B. Anthony was so full. So the process for that is I'll get that beehive, because there's no queen in it, I'll put a piece of newspaper, like I'll take the lid off and stuff, I'll put a piece of newspaper in between where the frames would touch, and then I'll just put that on there. And then by the time the bees have eaten through the newspaper, enough of the queen pheromone has got in that there might be a little bit of chaos and fighting, but most of it'll be fine. Most of those Beyonce's bees will be integrated into this beehive, but you don't want to do that if Beyonce already has a queen. So that's kind of where my mind is at with that. I just need to see if Beyonce is going to do well. Susan B. Anthony, they've got all the numbers that would indicate they have a queen. They had a decent amount of brood in there, which also indicates if they don't have a queen, they had an emergency queen, which is just where one of the regular bees will get pregnant and fill the role of the queen until they get a new queen. But I didn't see any capped queen cells. So it's a good indicator that there were probably a queen in there, but because they had done all that robbing, they had taken a lot of the honey and pollen from the other hive and put it in this hive. So they didn't have enough room for the queen to expand and lay a lot of brood. So that's another reason I'm coming out in about 5 days. I'll check on Susan B. Anthony, kind of see how it is. If I need to, I'll take a frame out, replace a frame, kind of do some of my my weird beekeeping magic out here. And these guys are actually right on target for where I want them to be. This one was going to be my honey hive all along anyways, but if they do decide that they're going to set up and swarm, which they haven't yet, they're just plussing up their numbers like they normally do. But if they start putting eggs in the cells, which is why you need to check these every 10 days or less, then I'm going to do a split and I'll end up with 4 beehives again, which would be really nice. But I kind of just wanted these guys to make honey this year. We'll kind of see how it goes. Sorry, that was a little bit of a chaotic inspection, but hopefully I explained everything for you. But as you can see, the sun is going down. That's why I was packing these guys up real quick. Yeah, any chaos with the bees was 100% the beekeeper's fault this year, or this inspection. I just kind of neglected them, even though I was seeing stuff that told me in the back of my mind I probably should have came out here and messed with some stuff. But it looks like it all worked itself out, and we'll just have to see how it works out with our next inspection. All right, dudes. Well, have a good rest of the week. Hopefully this was informational for some of you new guys. Don't get discouraged. I'm gonna be posting a lot of videos. I'm hoping to make a video. I made a what is honey video, and I'm hoping I needed to make that to explain some of my other videos. So I'm going to make a video on the honey flow, raiding, and swarming, but without the background of what is honey and why does it matter. Those other 3 videos, we would kind of be jumping into a little bit more advanced stuff that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So I'm trying to help everybody with some baby steps, because for me personally, when I was starting off beekeeping, all I had was the Beekeeper's Bible. YouTube was not doing very well. There were no young guys on here. It was like a couple old guys with cameras just swinging them around. You had no idea what was going on. So I wasn't really able to learn like that. So I was like, and then I started meeting other people who were trying to get into beekeeping. They would ask me a lot of questions. And I was like, man, if you got questions, everybody's got questions. And it was the same questions I had when I started off. So that's actually why I started filming some of these, to try and help people figure out the basics of beekeeping that are kind of elusive. And so later in the year, we'll go into a lot of pest management, because it's not as critical right now to deal with pests because it's the plus up time. But in fall, it will be a big deal. So I'm going to do them a little early this year, my pest management stuff, so that you guys can get ahead of the curve on what you need to learn. But yeah, that's where we're at. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later.